All right, this is Philosophy 130, Knowledge and Values for Dr. Leicester, final podcast. My name is Colin Handy.
My name is Brendan Bottom.
And I'm Dane Tews.
So what?
So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. And we're going to have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want all of you, forever, you and me, every day. Will you do something for me? Please? You just picture your life for me? 30 years from now, 40 years from now? What's it look like? If it's with that guy, go. Go! I lost you once.
I think I can do it again.
If I thought it's what you really wanted. But don't you take the easy way out.
What easy way? There is no easy way. No matter what I do, somebody gets hurt.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What
It's
do you want?
I think it's a good place to end it.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Today we're going to talk about love. We chose to open with that scene because Unreal movie 1.
Yeah.
And then
I
2.
feel like that fits
Fits
really
what
good
we're
with
talking.
Heavenly Love too. Like that's the Heavenly Love part we're gonna be talking.
Like Allie and Noah have heavenly love, and then Allie and her fiance have more of the common love.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
that's why we opened with that. Who wants to kick this party off here?
Well, I can talk about a little bit of like notes I have. About,
Well, I guess
like,
first off, we're going to be referencing the Symposium by Plato.
oh, yeah.
Common versus heavenly love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, just be prepared. We might pronounce some names wrong, just in beforehand.
Yeah.
So, like, I would think, so Pausanias?
Pausanias.
Pausanias, he's the guy who talks about common
Yeah.
heavenly love first.
What was his profession?
I don't know.
I haven't
Maybe
read
we
that.
can Google this. We get some Google from, like, spitting chicklets or something.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Here's Grinelli.
Where's Grinelli? Pausanias was a lawyer.
There's the
Lawyer,
lawyer.
okay.
Okay, smart dude.
Look at that. We got notes around here.
Oh, yeah.
We got notes around
yeah.
here.
Yeah, and like I just kind of pass notes, like some motivation I found for like common love, how we talked about common love and heavenly love in two separate sets of love, I guess. Motivation for common love is physical attraction, mainly to like the bodies and the minds.
right.
Kind of like, I would feel like that's more younger crowd.
I
Like,
feel like
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
feel like definitely being in college right now.
Oh,
I feel like we
100%.
see that a lot with college students where
Yeah.
they're more looking at the physical attraction more than the
Absolutely.
personality sort of state.
I think it's like highlighted for us too at this age because it's like it's our first time being away from home for a lot of kids,
Absolutely.
and then two, like some people it's their first like grown up relationship,
Exactly.
and they're realizing like the things that they actually want in a relationship versus the things that they're attracted to in high school. You know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, for sure.
What's the first quote when Pausanias starts talking? Economy and love. If there were only one love, it would be all very well, but in fact there's not the case. Love is not single. And that being so, it is better to state first of all which sort of love should be praised. I shall therefore transfer to this right by first explain which love is the one to be praised and then by praising it. So then he goes into he talks about the two Aphrodites and the younger and the younger of which being common love and the older of which being heavenly love. So it kind of refers to like coming of age, like at the college age when
Yeah.
people mature.
Yep.
You want to keep going? You got your point there?
Oh yeah, like you want me to talk? So I got like the focus of
Yeah.
the common love.
Do you think we need to like go one at a time? I think like snapping around's better.
Yeah,
like
snapping around.
snapping around's good.
Yeah, if you have a
Conversation
point,
going.
say it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, like I have the focus of common love as temporary pleasure, looks like sex, satisfying like your urges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just like again like that relates to the younger crowd.
Yeah.
Like I know, being like a younger guy, I guess like you guys know too.
Yeah.
You guys, it's not really. You're not really looking. Well, I'm bad thing to say because I'm in a long-term relationship.
Yeah,
but
right,
yeah.
right.
I know
But,
if I
yeah.
wasn't in one, I wouldn't be looking for someone.
Yeah, but I mean, when you started, when you start dating her?
I probably started dating her in probably grade 8, and
Yeah.
you don't think like when I started dating her, like I wasn't gonna be 6 years with her.
Yeah, right. Like you're
Absolutely.
thinking,
Like it's a junior high girlfriend. Like, oh yeah, I'll date for like a year at most.
Yeah.
And then you kind of bond to a person, I guess.
how long was your first relationships? Mine was, or like first girlfriend in middle school that you hold hands with. Mine was probably, I think, a month and a half.
Yeah,
It was
I mean,
pretty serious.
If you don't count, I don't really count middle school relationships too much.
I
but
had a year. I had before my one girlfriend. I had like a year, or probably not a year. I'd say 6 month relationship in grade
Yeah.
7. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, I'm going on 2 years for my relationship in less than a month now. So I'd say that's my first.
Snaps around for the boys. Snaps around for the
I'd say
boys.
that.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I had that. It's no more though. Snaps for that.
Oh,
Is it snaps? Okay, snaps.
We had it. It was good. Taught us a lot.
oh, yeah.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to her, right?
But touch on the common love, like satisfying urges. Like even that can be applied to things that aren't like relationship wise. Because, like say for instance, like in college drinking, like satisfying the urge, like go out and get hammered with your boys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a short term thing. It's not forever thing.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Not a constant, I think, is how he refers to it. Or no, what was it called? I had that. Restrictions on these common love. Lover of the common is love sort of something that is not a constant. So it's like refers to the physical aspect one, because that's gonna fade.
Yeah.
And then same as like alcohol or drugs, or like not an addiction, but like something that you're doing that's not necessarily the most productive thing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that take. That common love's kind of more like for the urges you get, kind of more in the short term. Like, and obviously now that you brought it up, like applying it to not just relationships, but like in college as well, like drinking, kind of like the urge to drink, but that might not be the best thing overall.
Yeah,
for
right.
you.
Right.
And looking into heavenly love, that's more like the personality of someone and
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
they are as a person. I think that's a lot more sustainable long term than say like just physical attraction, like
Yeah.
you were saying.
What's your next point, dude?
My next point.
Yeah.
It says like for the character, kind of like shallow.
Yeah.
Like not selfish, but like self-serving. Like
Mhm.
you're, like yeah, common love is a thing like you want to find. Like I feel like, especially growing up, like being around like a whole bunch of hockey guys.
Yeah.
Like for example, like. It sounds bad, but like
There's a reputation.
there's a reputation, 100%. Like when you
Yeah.
when you want,
We're not all bad guys.
When you tell the guys you have a girlfriend, the first question is, "What does she look like?"
Yeah.
Very
and
true.
it's actually it's something I don't know like how other people are, but as an athlete, of course I want like the guys not to talk shit or not talk bad about my girlfriend.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, like you want to have a good looking girlfriend.
Yeah,
I feel
like
like,
you-
that. But again, like.
You also want your girlfriend to be able to
want-
hang out and hold a conversation with your buddies too.
That's also a thing. But I feel like
Yeah.
younger people, like that's what they're kind of getting worried about. I feel like they're
Yeah.
trying to
I-
find a relationship. They have to be like, I have to find the most attractive person, and they're ignoring all the heavenly
Oh,
factors
yeah.
of a relationship. Like to a
Yeah.
T, they just want
Yeah.
something for themselves to make themselves look good.
I think
That's what they want.
that's one of the biggest things that like young guys overlook in a relationship is you start dating this person, obviously like it's human biology, you start with the physical attraction like you said earlier. And then like you move on and you like see all these different things about the person and you overlook those a lot of times
Yeah.
because you're stuck on the common love like factor sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think we've all felt victim to it at some point in our
Yeah.
lives. Like when you're
Oh,
younger, you
100%, dude.
always want. Obviously, like saying like hockey guys, you want people to find your girlfriend attractive,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. But as I grew older, it kind of more shifted towards like I want someone who can like you said, carry conversation.
Oh my
like,
god.
Yeah,
being able to hang out with my friends, that's fun to be around. Like
exactly.
Nothing
like more of a personality.
Nothing is worse than when you bring your girlfriend around your buddies and like they're poopy pants all the time. Or like the whole time like they sit there by themselves or like like if they can't like snap around with your buddies, like
Yeah.
how are you
Yeah.
gonna snap around with them for your rest of your life, you know?
Exactly.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with that. And I think that's just something as you grow older, you kind of,
Yeah,
You kind of it just comes more natural too.
yeah,
With time.
absolutely.
absolutely, dude. You got something else you want to touch on? I got another one if you want.
You go ahead.
The one that like stood out to me that I didn't pick up on the first time was he says there should be restriction on the type of people that are going after common love. And then I was thinking about like in some ways there are, because if you're in the common love mindset and you're looking for girls based off those factors, it's probably not going to work out long term.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, say even if it works out for a few years, or a couple of years, months, whatever, then it's not gonna last, and then eventually you're back at square one when you guys part your ways. You know, so I think that's something that kind of stuck with me that I didn't see the first time I read it. Like, for example, like if you're going out every night, like to the bar or club or whatever, and you're meeting a girl at the bar or club, which there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times you do find someone that's great in those places.
Yeah.
But if you guys are both
I'd be that person.
Bati in the
I'd be that
club,
person.
bottom bottles. You do.
Keep going with what you were saying.
But if you guys are both doing like not necessarily bad things, but things that aren't necessarily most productive to your development, then it's probably neither one of you are gonna get full development out of it, like the relationship.
No, that makes sense.
Like there's a quote I saw. This was on a different podcast. It was more of a religious take or whatever, but it was like everyone's God's children, right?
Yeah.
So why is God gonna trust you with a great daughter of his for your partner if he sees how you're treating his other daughters right now? Like if you're not treating a girl right, you know?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That was something that kind of connected the second time I read it here. That made a lot more sense to me.
Should we switch it to? Is there any more any more points you guys have on common love?
I think we touched most of it on common love.
Could we switch to
Yeah,
heavenly?
let's touch more
Let's
heavenly.
switch to
Heavenly love, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got a few points for heavenly too. Like I have the motivation for heavenly, attraction to like the soul and mind, not just the body.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when you grow older, you want someone, like you said, Andy, like you want someone who can hold a conversation. You can go for a round of golf with.
Yeah, you can
like,
laugh with.
You can laugh with. You can just see in someone like, yeah, I can spend the rest of my life with that person and be happy. I feel like that's what I agree with that. I'm more of a heavenly love kind of guy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's to a T. Like
And I think when I was younger, I fell victim to kind of wanting more like into the looks and obviously like being like in different sort of relationships and having different friends and that sort of thing. You definitely value the heavenly side way more than common growing up, and that's definitely the biggest thing I would say. But yeah, I think you guys touched on it very well so far between common and heavenly.
The one thing that I like thought about too, like trying to identify, I think it comes with age obviously and experience, like identifying the heavenly factors or like traits that you're looking for, like that's a lot harder to identify obviously.
because I feel like especially when you're young, you just want a relationship because you want to be like, oh, I got a girlfriend. You're not like
absolutely. Yeah.
You're not looking like, why do I want a girlfriend?
Yeah, right.
Like you want it to impress your buddies when you're younger. That's the commonly love kind of, and like heavenly love, like you want someone to spend the rest of your life with.
Absolutely. That was where was it? If I can find the quote, but it was like when I think obviously the smarter way to date if you want it to last is obviously to take things slow. I guess like in today's world, it's very much, especially in like the States and Canada or whatever, it's very much like a hookup sort of culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like obviously people are hopping in the sack probably before they shoot.
Stands.
Yeah, and before like you even know the person well enough that you should be sharing something like that with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like I think identifying the heavenly love factors comes through like several dates and taking it slow, like getting to know the person and identifying if that's like someone that you'd want to be friends with down the road, to have a relationship with.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
But there's where was it? Free Nation. Yeah, good men, of course, lay down these rules. Oh, here, let me go back to the sentence. There ought to be a law against starting a love affair with mere boys to prevent a great deal of effort being spent on something of uncertain outcome. That, like, again, speaks right to the hookup sort of culture. Because with young boys, it's uncertain how well or badly in body or soul they will turn out. Good men, of course, lay these rules down for themselves of their own accord, but some similar restrictions should be imposed on these lovers of the common sort, just to prevent. So, like, that was kind of what I touched on earlier.
Yep.
But he's saying, like, take it slow, make sure it's something that is gonna work out at least to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Yep. So kind of a quote like I found that was kind of interesting in the reading was that from Pausanias. It was that we must judge any act of love not by itself, but by whether it is conducted nobly and for good purposes, or shamefully and for selfish ends. So it's kind of saying love's not good or bad. It's kind of just the manner of it and how you kind of take it. Like
Absolutely.
Kind of
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. No, that speaks again to, like, your point of why you want the relationship in the first place.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, like obviously, like basing off Dane's point earlier, like when you're in middle school or high school, like you might not, like you're kind of might just get a relationship just to kind of be cool or kind of show off to your buddies.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
absolutely.
not for like kind of leading the point that it could be bad and love could be bad at that point, like being in a relationship. But then as you grow older, if you're getting into a relationship for the right reasons, like I mean, because you love this person, like as a personality, and you want, like obviously someone you want to marry that could be on the good side of it. So it's kind of just all you make out of it, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, and some of this, like, sounds really repetitive, the points we're saying, but I think it just goes back to your intentions with it.
Exactly.
If you're,
It's kind of tough when you believe something. Like, I feel like us three, even before the podcast, we kind of talked about it. Like, what kind of love we like between commonly and heavenly. And I feel like we all agreed on heavenly love. So all the points, I feel like, are going to be pretty repetitive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, touch on that. The bad man is the lover of common sort, the one who loves the body rather than the soul. He's not constant because the things he loves not. Oh, I already said that point. Oops. That's what I written down earlier.
Just want to make sure. I know what this word-
Make sure we're not missing
I want to make
anything.
sure I know what this word means before I say it.
What is it?
Because I don't know.
What's the word?
What's the word?
I don't want Leisure to think I'm dumb.
What's the word?
Or the quote.
Nothing. Say all it's stupid.
Oh my
Like
god.
moral good and goodness. Can you guess it?
Moral good and goodness.
Moral good.
Virtue.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because there was like a.
I'd hope you use that right. You spent like
No,
a week and a half on
I
it.
know, that's what I mean. I'm like, please.
Let me make sure I got this straight.
Yeah, like this is kind of switching up from heavenly and common, but
That's fair.
just
That's
I don't
fair.
know. It's Agathon's view on love. Like love is young, wise, and sensitive, and therefore to have love is to have virtue.
Yeah.
What do you guys? I feel like that is something. That's something I can get behind in a way.
Yeah.
Like having someone you love that makes you better too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what virtue is to have.
Yeah, well, I think
Yeah.
the way we boil it down in class, I'm not sure about online, but like we boiled down virtue as to living good
Yeah.
and like
Exactly.
aiming to do good more than bad, you know?
Yeah. So.
Absolutely, and then that's definitely something you strive for, and then you can also have, going to the left side, you can have a partner that brings the best out of you, that can
Yeah.
pay dividends in the long run, and
Yeah.
definitely we all strive for that
Yeah.
Yeah.
in some sort of way, for
Well,
sure.
I guess I kind of guess that there is I have a viewpoint also on heavenly love like that. I feel like Agathon and Pausanias,
Yeah.
his name,
Yeah,
Pausanias,
Pausanias,
like the
yeah.
views are kind of similar in a way because Agathon's view fits kind of into the heavenly love category because like the direction of heavenly love aims to develop both people into better human beings.
Yeah, right.
So
Well, I think that's why, like, Plato probably wrote it in that order, because Pausanias went second, right?
Pausanias went second.
And then Agathon went last, right?
He went last. Eximius went first.
Yeah. Like, I think he did that, like, because he threw out the idea,
Yeah.
like, what a guy that's going to
Agathon?
agree with Agathon.
Yeah, Agathon
And
was
then-
like in the middle, wasn't he?
I have him as 194E to
194E,
198A. Is that the last
Could be wrong.
brief intermission? I wish like Joe Rogan has Jamie, like looking stuff up.
Yeah.
Jamie, could you pull
Put
that
that
up?
in here quick.
It
A little
was
ad.
Yeah.
yeah.
Give us time, yeah.
Oh no, this ends at 223A. Never mind. But I think he spaced them out, like, because, like, the conflicting of opinions,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then, like, having someone to connect back to at a later date in the story. But it is kind of crazy that, like, this was written. When was this even written?
I think it was around 2,000 years ago, 2,400 years ago.
Yeah, because he refers to the Roman Empire, so that would add up.
Like I think, I'll Google
I'm
it.
trying to look.
Trying to look.
I don't know. It doesn't say it like in the under the title.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, I guess it was edited, so it's probably different than how it was originally wrote and it was translated. But it's nuts that it was written how long ago, and like this is still.
Still relevant and
Yeah.
still talked about, like
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
actually it's important stuff. That
Yeah. It definitely is important because, I mean,
well, I know for a fact before like joining this philosophy class, like I had ideas of of love, but like I didn't really know the difference between like what I was say like when I was younger. I didn't know that was considered common love.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
And now
absolutely.
I know, like, okay, that was considered this, and now I understand why.
Yeah, dude. Because I think like we all have a moral compass that we believe in, right? But like until we like talk about it and speak it, especially like fucking. Oh, sorry. Like we're three hockey teammates. This isn't
Yeah.
a typical
conversation.
that we'd be having in the locker room if
Yeah.
this wasn't a part of our curriculum.
Absolutely.
And like,
Wild.
huh?
It'd be wild.
Yeah.
I'll let her hang out there. But I feel like after we talk about it and like get other guys' takes on it and like just speak your own, and you hear yourself back again.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna understand yourself better and what you want, what you believe in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's definitely, obviously not like a conversation that would normally be taking place, like just in our daily lives, but like after having to go through this and read on the topic, I think it's definitely something that was needed, and
Yeah.
like definitely opened my mind a little more about like what I want and like kind of where my mind was at in the past and
Yeah, absolutely.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The symposium written between 384 and 370 BCE.
This is BC, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, this
man.
is old.
Oh,
Yeah.
not even Jesus yet.
Yeah, before Christ.
Yeah. That's crazy to think about.
That is
That
nuts,
is crazy.
dude. That is insane. Are we thinking anything else you guys want to touch on?
Be at for.
We're at 23 right now.
23, okay.
My goodness.
I know, we're humming right now.
Yeah, it doesn't even
shooting
feel
it
like that.
around.
This conversation's been going so good.
That's how I
been
felt
great.
exactly how this thing was gonna go. I was kind of worried for it, and then I was like,
No, we're boys,
just
dude. It's the boys.
shooting stuff around,
Shooting-
guys. I can't
Snapping it.
snapping around.
All right, I think I'm all set if you guys are.
Yeah, I think
I think I'm good.
we touched everything I'm pretty sure about common versus heavenly love, and yeah, I think it was a good conversation and definitely opened my eyes to the subject matter for sure.
All right. That is our Philosophy 130 final podcast.
Peace.